Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Digital Realm. I'm Matt Osborne.
And I'm Jack Edgley. Coming up on today's show, we've got sports broadcasting in VR, how to keep yourself safe online, and the latest DLC to hit Assassin's Creed Origins. But first, let's go over to our reporter Jasmine Amara with the news.
The inventor of the internet, Sir Tim Berners-Lee, has warned of the dangers of a weaponized web. On the 29th anniversary of the web, Berners-Lee wrote an open letter highlighting the dangers of consolidating power in the hands of big tech giants like Google and Facebook. He cautioned of the dangers of a system in which tech companies control which ideas and opinions are seen and shared. This comes at a time when concerns about the accountability of tech companies have grown. London Mayor Sadiq Khan has also criticised the likes of Twitter and Facebook for not doing enough to curb hate speech and online abuse on their networks. Sony has unveiled its augmented reality hologram technology at an Austin, Texas-based tech and culture meetup. The tech uses a mixture of smart sensors for depth detection and motion tracking with a high-quality light source. Users can interact with these virtual objects using their hands because the projector software is able to recognize and track movements. It is Sony's attempt at creating augmented reality without requiring bulky goggles or smart glasses. The UK government's compulsory age verification check for online porn visitors has been postponed. Originally scheduled to come in force in April, the check will now be employed later in the year. The new rule means that online pornography viewers will have to prove that they are over the age of 18 to watch explicit material on porn sites. Possible methods include credit card checks and passport authentication. The world's first burger flipping robot is employed by a California restaurant has been turned off after just one day because it is too slow. Flippy, as the robot is called, replaced human cooks at a Cali Burger outlet in Pasadena, but has now been taken offline so it can be upgraded to work faster. Makers Miso Robotics said Flippy is capable of cooking up to 2,000 burgers a day. That's all for the news. Back to you in the studio.
VR is on the rise, especially over in the sports scene in the United States. But will it make its way onto British sports? And how will it change the way we view sports here in the UK? Jack Edgley reports on how VR headsets are allowing for a new form of sports entertainment to develop.
VR is becoming an ever-growing technology, one which has expanded into the sporting world. Through the Next VR app, users can access content from a variety of American sports, including the NFL, the NBA, and even some boxing matches. These broadcasts are sometimes live, but mostly highlights or archived footage which users can watch and experience in full VR. Let's have a look at a game on the NBA League Pass, which was broadcast recently.
Third of the 4 regular season meetings went down tonight inside the Pepsi Center between the Lakers and Denver Nuggets. It was offensive fireworks that did not disappoint. It was the best of the night inside an XVR. Flips it ahead. Out for Murray, looking for three, and he knocks it down.
So as you can see, professional sports over in America have taken to the concept of broadcasting in virtual reality. The NBA will broadcast a total of 27 games live in VR throughout the regular season. But will we see sport in England broadcast in virtual reality? It has already been done before. Notable examples include the men's and women's finals at Wimbledon, which was also facilitated by NextVR. BT Sport has also broadcast the UEFA Champions League final in Cardiff back in 2017 in virtual reality. And BT Sport may be looking to expand their coverage even further. Speaking to Broadcast Now, BT TV Chief Operating Officer Jamie Hindor confirmed that VR would form part of its overall coverage of English Premier League and Champions League matches. A survey conducted by YouGov suggests that the use of VR in the UK is on the rise. According to their study, in Q4 of 2016, 3% of the population owned a virtual reality headset. In Q1 of 2017, this had doubled to 6%, suggesting that there has been a spike in VR usage. This could prove enticing for sports broadcasters in the UK, as the rapidly growing market could become an ideal platform to host their broadcasts. It is certainly an intriguing prospect and one that we will just have to wait and see what materialises in the future. Jack Edgley for TV. Now, moving on to gaming. Ubisoft are about to release the latest DLC for Assassin's Creed Origins. The DLC, titled Curse of the Pharaohs, is set 4 years after the first game in the series. Our reporter Matt Osborne has more.
Undead Pharaohs, Romans, and the birth of a creed. Hi, I'm Matt Osborne, and let's take a look at Ubisoft's newest Assassin's Creed DLC to hit the market.
in the land of the undead. Not everything that is laid to rest stays buried.
Assassin's Creed Origins has taken us from the vastness of Ptolemaic Egypt's uppermost corners and cities, Alexandria, Memphis, and across the Red Sea to the deserts of the Sinai to face the Romans in battles against the Order of the Ancients. We see a lot of the architecture, society, and culture from ancient Egypt, but what if it's mythology? Well, Ubisoft hasn't disappointed my fellow Brotherhood members. In fact, it's more not delivered. Arriving to Xbox and PC on March 13th, the second DLC installment in the Origins saga, Curse of the Pharaohs, takes us down further the Nile to the upper kingdom of now Roman Egyptus, where we fight the usual Romans, bandits, and undead pharaohs? New in-game activities mechanics during your time in Thebes and the Valley of the Kings. You'll also get to visit the Field of Reeds, but sadly there won't be no family reunion for you and poor Kemu. Sorry, Kemu, don't cry. Please don't cry. In addition to this, you'll battle scorpions, Anubis guards, and small annoying bird things with human heads. I can't even begin to imagine why Ubisoft. Why? Well, we'll have to look at that more and more as the release date closes in. I've been Matt Osborne, and this has been Assassin's Creed Curse of the Pharaoh, out 13th of March.
Now, everyone loves a bit of modern gaming, from classics such as Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Assassin's Creed. But every now and again, we all love a nostalgia trip. Our reporter, Drew Jenkins, has the 411 on a museum dedicated to video games across the ages.
I'm here outside the Centre for Computing History Museum in Cambridge. The museum is not only the place to learn about technology and gaming through the ages, but definitely the place to go if you want to relive your childhood and play on all your favourite games and consoles. With new games being developed and released every year, it is amazing to see where video games first came from. The rise of video games is the best example of how computers have empowered human creativity and imagination in recent decades. The power of computers to present and manage huge amounts of data has given birth to a £3 billion UK gaming industry. Embodying the human need to play, over 30 million people in the UK play games on consoles and online. And as a whole new form of creative expression, they have undeniably transformed our culture. The history of video games goes as far back as the early 1950s, when academic computer scientists began designing simple games and simulations as part of their research. Video gaming did not reach mainstream popularity until the 1970s and 1980s, when video arcade games and gaming consoles using joysticks, buttons and other controllers, along with graphics on computer screens and home computer games, were introduced to the general public. Since the 1980s, video gaming has become a popular form of entertainment and part of a modern popular culture in most parts of the world. The third generation of consoles, which were 8-bit units, emerged from 1983 to 1995. The fourth generation of consoles, which were 16-bit modules, emerged from 1987 to 1999. The 1990s saw a resurgence and decline of arcades, and the transition to 3D video games improved handheld games and PC gaming. In 2013, the 8th generation of consoles emerged, including Nintendo's Wii U, Nintendo 3DS, Microsoft's Xbox One, and Sony's PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. No one knows what the future will hold for video games, but we do know, from where it's come from to where it is now, it's definitely going to be exciting.
That's all we've had time for today. We hope you've enjoyed today's show, and if you have enjoyed the show, make sure to check us out over on Twitter @media_ICOV for more content. See you next time.